Help me to complete my first 1,000 subscribers. Is this where I'm supposed to say congratulations or I'm sorry? My boss laughed, raising his glass as my wife stood crying across the room. That sound didn't just cut through the music. It cut through me. My name is Victor Hale. I was 41 years old when my marriage ended under fluorescent lights and cheap decorations. I worked as a senior account coordinator for a logistics company in Dallas. I had been married for 8 years. The company party was supposed to be harmless. End-of-year celebration. Hotel ballroom. Assigned seating. My boss insisted spouses attend, said it was about culture. My wife almost didn't come. She said she had a headache. Then she changed her mind at the last minute, dressed carefully, said very little on the drive. We didn't argue anymore. That was the problem. Silence had replaced tension. We lived by schedules and polite check-ins. She stayed up late. I woke up early. We brushed past each other like co-workers who shared at least a tea. The party, she didn't sit next to me. Said she wanted to mingle. I watched her laugh with people who barely knew her while she avoided my eyes. I focused on work talk. Numbers. Clients. Anything solid. The collapse didn't start loudly. Someone spilled a drink. Someone else joked about relationships surviving corporate hours. My boss grabbed the microphone, already tipsy, enjoying the attention. Let's hear it for commitment, he said, grinning. Especially when it lasts longer than most of our contracts. People laughed. Then he looked at my wife. And some of you, he added, chuckling, clearly renegotiate when better offers come along. A few people laughed harder than they should have. My wife froze. I stood up without thinking. Chairs scraped. The room tilted. What are you talking about? I asked. My boss blinked, surprised I'd responded. Relax, Victor. It's just a joke. My wife's face crumpled. She didn't deny it. She didn't look confused. She started crying. That's when the whispers turned into a wave. I didn't yell. I didn't demand explanations. I just looked at her and realized I was the only one who didn't know. We left early. In the car, she sobbed into her hands. I didn't want you to find out like that, she said. Find out what? I asked, my voice steady in a way that scared me. She stared at the dashboard. I've been seeing someone. From work. Not your work. Mine. How long? She hesitated. Almost 2 years. 2 years. While we shared holidays. While I defended her distance to myself. While I told friends marriage was just quieter now at tea home. She finally said the rest. I never loved you the way you loved me, she said, between breaths. You were convenient. You made life easier. I sat down slowly. And my feelings? I asked. She wiped her face. They don't matter to me the way they should. I'm sorry. The apology felt procedural. That night, I slept in my car. Not out of drama. I just couldn't be in that house. The next morning, I went to work. My boss pulled me aside, smiling like we shared a secret. Hey, he said. Rough night. But look, things happen. Don't let it affect your performance. I stared at him. You laughed. He shrugged. I didn't know it was that serious. It had been serious for 2 years. That was the moment something shifted. Not anger. Awareness. I realized my marriage hadn't just collapsed. It had been entertainment. A punchline. Something people felt entitled to comment on because I'd been too quiet for too long. The turning point wasn't explosive. It was internal. I stopped asking my wife to explain herself. Stopped asking my boss for professionalism. Stopped trying to manage everyone else's comfort. I went home and packed a bag. I'm leaving, I said calmly. She looked stunned. For how long? For good. But we can talk about this. We've been not talking for years, I said. The divorce was slow and unremarkable. No screaming. No property battles. Just paperwork and long silences at work. I filed a formal complaint. Not emotional. Documented. Precise. Dates. Quotes. Witnesses. Why boss wasn't fired. He was moved to another division. That was enough. Not justice. But acknowledgement. I transferred teams. Same salary. New manager. No jokes. Months passed till I learned how to sit alone without feeling abandoned. Learned that peace doesn't always feel good at first, it feels empty, then cleaned. My ex-wife reached out once. Said the affair hadn't worked out. Said she missed my steadiness. My reliability. I didn't respond. Not because I hated her. Because I finally understood that being chosen out of convenience isn't love. It's a contract you never agreed to. Here's what I learned. When people laugh at your pain, they're telling you how safe they feel disrespecting you. When you stay silent to keep the peace, you teach everyone, including yourself, that your dignity is negotiable, and revenge doesn't have to be loud. Sometimes it's just the decision to leave the room and never explain yourself again. Why marriage collapsed at a company party. Why boss laughed. But walking away quietly, without begging, without performing my grief, was the first time I felt in control of my life, and that was worth more than any apology I never received.